2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda.
Hello and welcome to Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda, and the purpose of this show is to highlight the individuals, groups, organizations that are making a difference in our community every day. And today I have a great example of that. We're talking about the Hazleton Art League. And I am joined by Mark Peterson, who's the Executive Director of the Hazleton Art League, and Dr. Carl Frankel, who is the President of the Hazleton Art League. And I, as a Hazleton girl, am very, very proud of the Art League. And now we're going to share the story of the Art League to everyone. So thank you both for being here today.
Pleasure.
Let's start a little bit about the history of the Hazleton Art League. And while we're talking, we're going to show a lot of the video of the inside of the Art League. It'll blow you away. It's beautiful. And we will talk about, first of all, the history, because it's been around for over 75 years.
Right. It was decided I would handle that because I've been around for over 75 years myself. The Art League was started in 47. Now, Hazleton was still riding high at that point on the coal industry and fabric, the garment industry. The town was prosperous, and they had essentially no cultural organization. So a group of people, for the large part women, decided that we needed to have one. And they got together, organized, wrote up a charter, and found a building. Now, they were organized in 47, and their first building at 225 East Broad Street belonged to George Markle III. Now, the Markles were the coal baron, the major coal barons in the Hazleton area. But this was kind of an office building, and they acquired that building. The agreement was that George kept his office on the second floor, and the first floor and the basement were renovated for use by the Art League. They actually opened their doors in 1951. And were a hit almost immediately. Throughout the 50s and the 60s and the early 70s, membership was up in the 500s. Wow. If you see pictures of events at that time, it's a fairly small building and people were packed. Mm-hmm. And the next important thing that happened is that due to the wear and tear and due to the size of their membership, they undertook a major renovation in 1970.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we're showing is the bank building now, but we'll come back to this building. Yeah.
George Markle died in 1970, and so the second floor became available. So they renovated to put an art studio in there, and at the same time, they converted a basement room to a theater. Mm-hmm. So the Art League, in addition to featuring the visual arts, always look for opportunities to promote or to get involved in theater, music, and any other art form that they wanted to encourage in Hazleton. And fast forward to way past the 70s when our old building was starting to get a little rickety and no longer met our needs, and there was the perception that it wasn't really in the safest part of town. That was never true, but that was the perception. And through good luck and the work of the Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress and the mayor at the time, Joe Yanuzzi, we were offered a lease agreement with our current building.
And that's the building we're going to show inside
yes.
of, yes.
And we moved into that during the height of COVID, which was a bit of an adventure, Jane Ann, because you couldn't get crews together to work, so everything had to be done piecemeal by one person at a time, properly distanced from everybody else. And we opened the doors in the new building in 1920, in 2020, and have not looked back since.
And that building, as we're looking inside, was a bank, a vault, offices, and then you all get inside and you create a work of art.
Yes, we
do.
do.
It really is a work of art. It's beautiful. Some of it still remains looking like the bank, but the most of it has been restored and to its beautiful inside right now. But let me ask about this. You mentioned membership back in the early days. How is membership now?
Well, right now we have just over 360 members, and there are different kinds of memberships that you can have. Student memberships are $15 for the year. You have adult memberships, which are $30 for the year, family members $60. You could also be a patron for $200 for the year. Corporations can be members for $500, and they get the privilege of borrowing some artwork that we have in our permanent collection. And we're also looking for sustaining members. Sustaining members pledge a certain amount per month, and it can be as little as $5, or it could be as much as you want. And this really helps keep the Art League going because it's not just a one-time thing.
And I know when I think of, you think about becoming a member of the Art League, I think I get a little intimidated because I'm thinking, do I have to be an artist?
Absolutely not.
I'm not an artist for starters.
And-
Mark kind of is, but I'm not.
But
Kind of.
Kind of.
oh, no. So I don't have to come in and be Picasso, right? No,
Absolutely not.
Because you teach. You're going to teach us how to be artists and bring out our creativity for people that are coming in as members. And you don't have to be from Hazleton either to
Oh,
join the Art
no.
League.
We have members in California. We have members in Canada. We have members from all over. As a matter of fact, there was a time that I was the longest distance member of the Art League when I lived in West Hollywood, California.
So anybody can be a member of the Hazleton
Yes.
Art League.
Yes.
And all you have to do is like art. You don't have to do art at all. That's my situation. I'm artistically challenged, but I just love art and I love being associated.
So and just come in there and enjoy
Yes,
the creativity
absolutely.
and the community of the space.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about some of the programs that you offer. I remember, as growing up in Hazleton, one of the popular programs that I always remember was the stained glass, the beautiful stained glass, and everybody was taking classes and creating this beautiful works of art. But tell us about some of the programs that the Art League offers.
Well, since you mentioned stained glass, I like to refer to one of our members who has been taking that stained glass course for over 50 years. And one of these days, she'll finish her project.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, no, but
We hope.
it's been a decades-long love affair with the stained glass. But we have so many other programs. You can join any one of our classes. We have classes for kids. We have drawing and painting. Some of the things that we do, which are quite popular, we have an en plein air group, which is a painting group that goes outside and paints for 2 hours out in nature. We also have in studio, Jane Kleshbukovsky has an open studio every Wednesday from 1 to 4. Now, that's one of the benefits of being a member because you have to be a member to be a part of that. And so many other things. We have open mics, poetry readings, musical events, the list goes on and on.
And I know you have some digital. You do digital arts
So
as well?
we do have a digital art studio, and we have had some classes there. It's one of those things that we want to emphasize more, but we do have a whole studio dedicated to that. We have 6 Mac computers, and we have 2 PCs. And one of the things that we also have, and this is something that Dr. Frankel over here helped put together. I'll let you talk about that.
Yes, I'm a lapsed biologist, and so you know that, Jane.
Yes, I do. I had them at Penn State Hazleton.
As did I.
That's
We're
right.
like 2 former students.
Right, yes.
So my whole life as a biologist, I was always gobsmacked at the beautiful things you can see in a microscope that you don't get to see without a microscope. It's a whole different world, and it's gorgeous. It can be gorgeous. So we started a class in microphotography. Thanks to a grant from the Luzerne Foundation, got a couple of high-quality microscopes, and the students just bring in anything. We instruct them on what would be appropriate materials, and you find just interesting visuals under the microscope, and then they get transferred to a computer where we have some software that allow you to play with the image. It's like Photoshop, but it's...
Right. Oh my God, is that interesting?
Yes, and so you create works of art, and they can either be... You can be scientific about it and say, boy, did you know that the skin of a fly could look like this? Or what a lot of the students prefer to do is you just photograph things and play with them so that the observer has no idea what they are. We have one piece hanging in the Art League now, which is the molded skin of a blueberry.
Oh, wow.
And when most people look at it, they say, is that like a mountain range from a satellite or something like that?
Isn't that interesting?
It's fun to play with it.
What a different...
We're the only program of that sort.
I
in
was going to
Northeast
ask.
Pennsylvania.
That's I've never heard of that before. So
Yeah.
that's unique.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
is.
tell us about some of the artists who are teaching the students. Who's part of the Art League's teaching?
Well, we are so fortunate to have some of the most incredible artists I've ever had the privilege to know. One of them is Jane Kleshbukovsky. She has a class of painting and drawing, and the work that she does is absolutely amazing, and the students just love being in that class. We also have Alexa Figas, who teaches the children, and she has children ages 6 to 13. The class has finished, but she'll be doing it again in the future, and the kids just love it. We also have stained glass, as you mentioned, and one of our artists is Joni Mazie, who does pottery on the wheel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Joni, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, and she just loves to
It's called the throwdown, isn't it?
Yeah. Throw down with Joni Mazie. I thought it was a wrestling match
did too at first, but
and it could very well develop into that. But at this point, it's the clay on the wheel, and it's amazing.
And is there what is one of the most popular classes that you offer? Is there something that everybody clamors
Well, the
to?
kids' class is doing very well.
You mentioned children, and do we, what about children in the arts? Because sometimes, maybe we don't, nowadays, sometimes we push it in school, sometimes we don't, and it's not in there enough. And I know growing up, art class was always a nice place to go, a nice release to get some creativity. How about the children in the arts? Do you see a lot of children coming in?
They need it. The children need it. And, things were different when we were kids, but today they're so focused on their devices. They're
Right.
looking at these little screens, and they're seeing a reality that isn't there, actually. When you have a child in the classroom and you focus on the artwork, they're not thinking about anything else. They're concerned about that color, that line, that brushstroke. And so it is a reset for their brains, and it's really vital. As a matter of fact, we had a young student come to us for a class that he thought was last night, but unfortunately, there was a miscommunication, and the class wasn't last night. But he just wants to be a part of an art class, and you make friends.
Right.
That's another thing too.
So we have programs for youth is a big part of what we do. Mark can tell you all about the summer art camp, which has been going for 4 years. And one of our largest activities is the Art Youth Expo. Now that's for 13 to 30, so it's a different subset. But we try to provide opportunities for those who want to be creative, young people in the community. The schools are really doing their best with, stretched budgets and programs that are threatened in some of the schools. So we try to work as much as we can with the schools, and we have very good relationships that we highly value with some of the art teachers in our local schools.
So it's a place for the young and the young at heart.
Yes.
I like I think that's a nice way to put it. I know on your website there's a beautiful video telling about the history of the Art League, and it was by Joe Pecora. It's wonderful, and I like because you're forming the art, the clay, and they're making hearts, and you talk to members that are there for 50 years. You talk to young people, both of you were in it. But I think there was one thing that somebody said in there that stood out to me. They said when they go into the Hazleton Art League, there's people there of all generations, all walks of life, but everybody there is talking to each other, and it's a community. And I think, isn't that nice? I mean, because you don't hear that nowadays.
It's lovely.
Right. Y una cosa que me gustaría decir que es una comunidad por toda la gente, aunque se habla español o inglés.
So you welcome Hispanic artists in our community, which is a growing
demographic.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, do you have a large Hispanic membership?
We do, as a matter of fact, and we would like to expand that. And Hazleton, I like to think of it as a community where there are people who speak English, people who speak Spanish, but it's all one community. And bringing everybody together is a dream of the Art League.
Actually, the Art League is one of the places where the two communities mingle the most easily and successfully. We have programs that appeal to everybody. It's a beautiful thing about art.
Right. It just brings everyone together. And I think that's important. And I think that's important to know because, you're in the center of town. You're in the center of our community. So and you welcome all. So, and I think that's a nice compliment for the Art League.
Yeah, absolutely. And I sometimes think of the Art League as the island of misfit toys because we really do welcome everybody.
And you run the gamut of programs, and I do want to put up the Art League's information in case anybody's interested in calling you to join, calling you to come in to see. When are you open? So if someone's looking and say, I want to come in and check out your gallery, see what you have.
Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4. And of course, we're open whenever we have classes, but we are officially closed on Monday.
And is there a fee to get in?
It is absolutely free to enter. You can enjoy the art that we have on view. We have our permanent collection. You can just sit down and play the piano if you want. You can have lunch in the gallery. It's all there for free.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about the Hazleton Art League. You're watching Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda, and you can find information on today's show on 2822news.com. It's under the Newsmakers link, and we'll be back right after this.
2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda. .2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda.
Welcome back to Community Newsmakers. We're talking about the Hazleton Art League. It's the gem in the middle of the city of Hazleton, and it's a community, a place where everyone is welcome and creativity is inspired and welcome. So I am joined today by Mark Peterson, who is the executive director of the Hazleton Art League, and Dr. Carl Frankel, who is the president of the Art League. And we're talking about the many programs and the history. But you have some current events going on there now, a couple of exhibitions, a couple of classes coming up. So let's talk about some of the events coming up.
Take it, Mark.
Well, one of the things that is currently on view is our exhibition by Reese Siegfried, and it is an exhibition entitled Clowntown Code Orange. And you know, I had somebody say, well, are there clowns? Because they're a little scared about clowns. But it doesn't involve clowns. What it is Reese's renditions of animals in festive party hats. And it's almost like an amusement park theme. And we found out that by talking with Reese, that Code Orange is actually used in the industry in amusement rides. If there is a stoppage of the ride and you can't get out, you're like on the ride, it is Code Orange. And this is Reese's way of saying you're captive, but you're safe, and we're going to fix things, because a lot of her art is dealing with past trauma that she had to deal with.
Wow.
But she does it in a way that's lighthearted, and it's a healing thing. And so it's something very different than what we've had before. Yeah. Now, Reese was in our Art Youth Expo, which is for young artists aged 13 to 30. And she's won a number of awards. And as a matter of fact, if you're a young artist, you can win cash prizes. And it's really something that is quite popular. And so to have her come back as an alumna of the Art Youth Expo program and have a whole exhibition dedicated to her work is really something special.
That's wonderful.
We've been waiting for that to happen for years.
And it's happening. And
Yep.
it'll probably continue to happen
We
as you
hope so.
grow and grow.
Yep.
And you have workshops coming up, a floral workshop, and you're getting ready for the holidays, which will make it even more beautiful inside the Art League. So tell us.
Oh my gosh, it's so popular. We just had a ceramic workshop on Tuesday. And then we have Smith Floral is coming. They're going to be here on Thursday the 20th. And it is such a popular thing because you get together. I mean, you can bring a bottle of wine and some cheese and crackers, and you're making a floral arrangement, and you're talking to your
Make
friends.
a night of it.
Oh, it's fantastic. And we try to make everything affordable. And we realize that there are challenges out there. And for our children's classes, we do have support from institutions such as the Quinn Foundation. So if there is a financial need, then there is a possibility of having a 50% scholarship for a child who wants to attend summer art camp, for example. So we do whatever we can to make it affordable, fun, interesting. And we also have live music coming up on Friday, the 21st. It's going to be Whale Teeth and a couple of other groups. Now, Whale Teeth is a group, they're based in Philly, but they're from the area. So they're calling it the Return to 570.
Oh, wasn't that neat?
Yeah. And
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then we're getting ready to light the Christmas tree and have a Wassail Fest, right? And
Yes.
that's part of the Art League will be open for that as well.
Yes, Mark was just trying to participate in a meeting, planning that in the car on the way up to your studio, Jane Ann, which is kind of interesting. We drove out of range after a while. But yeah, the city has their Christmas lighting, and Wassail Fest is many downtown merchants participate, and the idea is to visit all of them, and there's something set out for you to see. There's hot chocolate, there's entertainment, I think they said
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, of course. Can I review who the Santa Claus is, Mark, or is that
That was a
deep, dark
different one.
secret?
That was the City
Oh.
Hall Christmas tree
Oh,
lighting.
okay.
And Santa Claus
I
is
didn't
Santa
know
Claus, Carl.
All right.
That's right.
Otherwise
sorry,
known as
sorry.
Pardon me.
Papa Noel.
Of course. But and lots of vendors, and those we're going to have vendors on the 3 Sundays between Wassail Fest, which is Friday the 5th. There will be vendors in the Art League, not outside, so weather doesn't matter on the following 3 Sundays leading up to Christmas.
7th, the 14th, and 21st.
And so we'll have that on the website just to remind everyone of what's going on. But I do want to say, you have a kitchen as well.
Yes,
We do.
And tell us about that, because that's unique as well, a kitchen.
Well, it's organized through Can Be, which is a subsidiary of Can Do. And you can be a kitchen entrepreneur. And what you do is you would go to the Penn State Launch Box, and they will help you, which is just a few doors down from us on Broad Street. They will help you get a business plan. And then you talk to the folks at Can Be, and they will help you get your certificates, your insurance, all of the necessary inspections that you need. And then you're ready to go. You have there's a calendar that you log on to reserve your time, and you pay $15 an hour. And we have a number of different people who are cooking with us and making all sorts of things. We have Bobby Cook's Bakery, which is doing cookies and brownies and things like that. And I do get a chance to sample.
taste, of
Yes,
course. They always need
Carl
to-
does too.
We
save
do
some.
very well with sampling.
Yes. And then we have Retro Dough, which is doing pierogies, also cookies. And then we have
World's
Sealed with a
best
Kiss.
pierogies.
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
So, and this is all within the walls of the Hazleton
Yes.
Art League.
Yeah.
And
You asked about classes, Jane.
Yes.
We had one small class of gluten-free baking for kids, which surprisingly was a hit.
I bet. Oh, yes.
But the kitchen is small. So when we think about classes in the kitchen, it has to be something where it's appropriate to have no more than like 6 students. That's all we could really
And which
think
we have. And we had one of our classes was learning to do Indian style cooking
Oh, that's right.
from East India with kavita.
right. Yeah.
My goodness, did the aroma
bet it
fill
was
the art league?
really
Oh, it
good,
was
yeah.
so good. It was so good. And you know the kitchen is an amazing feature. You can also have access to the kitchen if you're hosting an event. So we also are available for parties, for meetings. As a matter of fact, there's a meeting going on at the Art League right now. They didn't need the kitchen, but you can use
Use
the kitchen.
That's nice to know. You need volunteers.
Yes.
Yes.
And how can you volunteer? Like, what would you do if you're a volunteer?
Anything from walking in the door to going to our website where you have a chance to sign up as a volunteer and say what sort of thing you're interested in doing. To be honest, Jane Ann, we don't make the best use of we are trying to organize ourselves to make more efficient use of our volunteers, to match their strengths and their talents with the needs that we have. So that's an ongoing project we have to really have an efficiently organized volunteer corps, but we welcome everybody, and everybody who wants to volunteer has found work that's appropriate for them that we appreciate to do.
But we also have the advantage of having volunteers come from CARES. These are young adults with disabilities coming to the Art League. So every Friday from 10 to 11, we have a crew there, and they're wiping off the tables and sweeping the floors. We also work with Reaching Beyond Limits, which is another organization that helps young people with a job coach. They come to the Hayden Family Center for the Arts, where the Art League is located, yes. And they help us out. Some of the things that we need help with is basic stuff. We need maintenance, we need cleaning, but there are also fun things like if you want to volunteer during our summer art camp, you can be an assistant to the instructor, because imagine just dealing with as much as 12 little ones running around.
Just kind of corralling them all together.
Exactly.
Or if you have IT skills, we always welcome.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah, we have an intern with Penn State University currently, and the intern is assisting us with our IT. So there are so many opportunities
for everyone. But I do have a minute left, and I do want to ask you, is there a wish list? Is there a program or something that you would really like to have at the Art League?
We have a couple. One is there is a need for after-school programming in general in the area, and we would love to provide that, but it is a major undertaking, and we have been unable to organize it yet. But that's high on our list. It's been identified by a lot of people as a need that we could help fulfill.
And another thing that I would like is a way to preserve and maintain our permanent collection. And it is an amazing thing, and you can come to the Hazleton Art League and see it on view.
And we're going to be wrapping up, but I do want to show the Art League information one more time before we say goodbye. And we have so much more to talk about, so I'm going to have you back to talk more about the Hazleton Art League. So, Mark and Carl, thank you so much for joining us today. We have information on the Hazleton Art League on 2822news.com under the Newsmakers link. You're watching Newsmakers, Community Newsmakers. I'm Jane Ann Bugda. Shout out to Brian Orban, Tony Ingargiola, and Matt Gronsky for putting the show together for me, and the man behind the board, Joey Nardone. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
2822 Now presents Community Newsmakers with your host, Jane Ann Bugda.